Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the video. Today we're going to be discussing how to gain muscle mass for skinny fat teen lifters. And I get it. I've been where you're at. I used to be skinny fat. I'm going to throw a picture up. That's how I used to look. And I was very unconfident, or I had practically zero confidence. I I was really just not in a good place mentally, and that had a lot to do with my physique. And after I started lifting and gaining muscle and doing the things that I'm going to show you today, it really improved my situation dramatically. And so I really hope that this video is gonna help a lot of you out there, because I get it. I've been there and it really sucks. And so I really hope that this video is gonna help some of you so you don't have to go through the same struggles that I had to go through and you might be going through right now. But before we get into that, my name is Noah. I am the founder of Get Her Done Fitness, and I made it my mission to help all the young teenage men who are just like myself gain insane amounts of muscle and get their dream physiques. And there are currently a few seats available in my Teen Transformation Accelerator, where I'm helping young teenage men just like myself, ages 16 through 19, get their dream physique in 12 weeks. I'm talking gain insane amounts of muscle and minimal fat in just 12 weeks. And you are going to get results that much quicker if you work with me, because I'm showing and teaching you everything that I've learned in the past 3 years and gaining 40 pounds of muscle that is going to help you to get results that much quicker compared to navigating this alone. And so if you want to get serious about your physique, you want to make a change, go down below and click that link to book a call with me, and we'll see if you are a good fit for that program. Let's hop into this one. We have a lot to cover in this video, but it's going to be well worth your time. Gain muscle mass for skinny fat teen lifters. Okay. What did I do to go from, 130 pounds, zero confidence, quite frankly, a loser, and skinny fat to where I am now? So the very first thing that I started doing, years ago at this point, was I just started doing something. Like, the very first part of actually making a change is taking action. You can watch all the videos that you want, just like this one on, how to gain muscle mass, how to do it. But unless you actually go out and do it, you're not actually going to get what you want, and that is to not be skinny fat. And so the very first thing that you need to start doing is going out and taking action. And so after you watch this video, you are going to go make a game plan, and you are going to execute and do it. And stop watching all these videos on it and just go out and do it, because I'm going to be breaking down everything that you need to do. And so you can just implement it, and you're never going to have to watch another video like this if you do exactly what I'm saying. And so the very first thing, take action. Number two is going to be making sure that your training is on point, okay? And this, don't make it complicated, okay? And I made a lot of videos talking about how to train correctly, right? But there's not a one size fits all. There's not an end all be all. Like, if you go and do a flat dumbbell bench for the rest of your life instead of doing normal bench, you can still probably make about the same amount of chest gains if you're going hard every time. Like, there's no one size fits all. There's no end all be all program, exercise, workout, rest time. Like, that's all up to you. But the number one thing that's universal, right? So it doesn't matter what program it is, what exercise it is, none of that matters. But the one thing that does matter and is universal and that you need to follow, there's no, oh, well, maybe I can just not do it. No, this is the one thing you need to do, is you need to go in and you need to train hard, okay? You need to go in and say you're training legs. Yeah, and I heard someone, they described this so perfectly, okay? So what they said was, to make leg gains, quote unquote, you're going to go in and you're going to train your legs until they feel like they're about to tear off the tendon, and then train them more. And then you're done. It's not, oh, you go in and get a quick pump leave. It's like, no, that's how you go in and get a pump. That's not how you go in and make gains. If you want to go in and make gains, you need to train freaking hard. You need to train to failure every single set. And so, kind of as a basic framework to start out with, because like I said, if you're going hard enough, and you'll know if you go hard enough, if you're training like a pussy, you'll be able to tell. Like, there's no, oh, did I train hard enough? If you're asking yourself if you trained hard enough and you genuinely think that you didn't train hard enough, or you're questioning whether you trained hard enough or not, that means you didn't train hard enough. But if afterward you're like, oh my God, that was literally like you went to hell and back, that probably means you trained hard enough. Okay, so you are gonna know when you train hard enough and when you don't. But kind of as a basic framework to start out with, you can fine tune to your scenario and what you like, et cetera, is going to be go in and do push pull legs, you know, and on all the different days, you are going to do 5 exercises in total. Okay. And you can do more or you can do less, but I'm just giving you this basic framework to start out with, kind of like a plug and play. You can adjust it, you can add more, you can take away, but like I said, the most important part is you need to actually be training like a freaking animal. Like, I know that might sound like woo woo, train like a beast, woo, yeah. No, literally go in, train like a freaking animal. So you're gonna go in and you're gonna do 5 exercises. So for example, on push day, you know, you could do bench press, and then you could do chest flies, and then you could do dips, and then you could do tricep extension, and then you could do flat dumbbell bench. That's 5. Okay. Just pick 5 exercises that are going to hit the desired muscle groups for that specific day and go freaking intense. Like on every single one of those 5 exercises, you are going to be doing at least 5 hard sets. And I'm talking like drop sets. Not, oh, I go to failure. Like, yes, go to absolute failure. And then you're going to drop the weight and you're going to do another like back-to-back set to failure. That's what a drop set is. So if I'm doing a drop set on tricep extensions, which I usually go in and I do like a quadruple drop set on this. Like, I just go all the way down the weight stack as I get more worn out, but I'll do like 8 reps to failure, okay, on the overhead tricep extension, okay? And then I drop it down by 10 pounds. And then I can do like 8 to 12 all the way to failure, like until I literally cannot do another one. And then I'll turn around and I'll drop it another 10 pounds and do it again, and I'll drop it another 10 pounds. And you're not going to feel it right away, but if you are training like this with every single muscle group, the next day you're going to wake up and you're like, oh my God, I'm literally so sore, everything hurts. That's good. That means that you're training hard enough. And I have a recent video that I made on recovery that is going to help you get over those difficult recovery days. The next thing that you need to make sure is on point, which especially for those of you who are skinny fat, is going to be what you are eating, what you are consuming, okay? You cannot, everyone says this, and I kind of beg to differ a little bit, but for the most part, it's true, and that is you cannot out-train a bad diet. And so in your guys' case, when it comes to gaining muscle, gaining size, while also cutting down a little bit of the fat because you're skinny fat, for you guys, okay, if you're like severely skinny fat where you're practically fat and not very much skinny, then I would say that maybe, a more conservative approach is better. But for those of you who are just a little bit skinny fat, I would say go into full bulking mode. Okay. And so what that's going to look like is you are going to be eating more calories than you are burning, and those extra calories that are still in your system, right? So if you burn 3,000 calories in a day, that's your maintenance calories, and you eat 3,500 calories, there's still going to be 500 calories left in your system. And those calories are going to be burned to build the muscle that you broke down in the gym. And what it's going to use to build the muscle is going to be the protein that you consume. So that means that there's two parts to this, okay? You need to be eating in a caloric surplus. You need to be eating a lot of food, okay? If you don't want to track your calories, you're not going to, although I would recommend that you do, but it can definitely get unhealthy, being overly obsessive about your calories and whatnot. And so I would be careful with that, but I do recommend it for those of you who can not lose yourself in the calories. I would recommend that you track your calories, but for those of you that aren't going to be tracking your calories, you need to be eating a lot, okay? A lot of good food. So don't go and, drink a milkshake and then a bunch of soda and then, 17 tacos and then pizza. It's like, no. Go and eat a lot of good food. Eat a lot of chicken, a lot of steak, a lot of rice, a lot of just fairly basic whole foods, but you want to be eating a lot. You want to be in that caloric surplus. And like I said, there's two parts. So there's going to be the caloric surplus and then how much protein you are eating. And so the protein, that's going to be fairly straightforward as well. You don't necessarily, you don't have to overthink this, okay? Because if you're getting a really solid portion of protein or, meat basically with all of your meals, you're probably going to be in the clear. But for those of you that are going to be tracking your calories and want to make 100% certain that you're getting your protein on point, you are going to want to be getting 1 gram per pound of body weight. And so if you weigh 160 pounds, get at least 160 pounds, at least 160 grams of protein a day. And so if you get 180 grams of protein, that's fine. If you get 250 grams of protein, that's fine. Like, the point is, you need to be getting at least, as a bare minimum, 1 gram per pound of body weight of protein, and that's what's going to build the muscle. Okay, and then the last thing that you're going to do is you're going to make sure that your recovery is on point, because if you're not recovering, you are not going to be able to maximize your gains, so to speak. And I made whole videos dedicated to this that would probably be better to watch. But in a nutshell, you just want to make sure that you are recovered when you go into the gym. So you want to make sure that your sleep's on point, right? Like, you're not up all night and then you wake up, at a bad time, you didn't get that restful sleep because you were up on your phone all night. Yeah, whatever. Like, you need to be getting good, solid sleep. And this is something that I personally struggle with, right? Just kind of being restless at night, and it's gotten better, but I definitely get it where it's like it's just really hard to control your sleep. But if you seriously want to be serious about this, you need to get your sleep under control. Make sure you're getting at least 8 hours of sleep every night, because that's when all these muscle building and recovery processes take place. That is going to help you to recover and go in and train again and get bigger. And on a final note, I just want to give you guys a little bit of motivation, because like I've said, I was in your exact same spot a few years ago. And so I totally get it. Like, it seems so daunting, because it's like you want to change, you want to make the change, and you even go out and take action, but then it doesn't really seem like it's working out. It doesn't seem like you're actually reaping the fruits of your labor. And so all that I can say to you is you just need to trust the process. Trust the process. Because believe me when I say that there were many times, and even recently, like, it happens to the people who, like, you're right here and someone else is right here. And you think that person right there doesn't deal with the same struggles that you do because they're up there, right? It's like, oh, well, it must be easy up there. I promise you that up there, it is not necessarily easier, okay? Because, from time to time, more often than I would like to admit, I do kind of get in that kind of mode where it's like, I feel small, I feel skinny, I don't feel like I've really made any progress, I don't feel like I'm worth it. Like, it's just a lot of negative thoughts. But you need to remember that's all they are, is thoughts. Like, it just exists in your head. And so you can make with it what you will. So if you want to turn that into excuses and, well, oh, this isn't even working, so I'm just gonna stop going to the gym, stop making gains, then that's exactly what's gonna happen, is you're gonna stop making gains. And so, but if you just kind of tune those thoughts out or put them into a positive outlet, so if you use that, to help you in the gym, where it's like, you know what, I'm just gonna go in and train that much harder, then that's a really good outlet for those negative, unwarranted thoughts. Like 99% of the time, these thoughts that are going through your head, they're just that. They're thoughts. They're not reality. The reality is that if you are training hard and if you just put your head down, go to work, and trust the process, you are going to see results in due time. Because not to mention, you don't see results from day to day. You don't see your hair growing from day to day. It's not until it's been growing for a month that you realize, oh, it's gotten that much longer. It's gotten that much longer. Like, you need to look at it in more of a long-term aspect, right? Not, well, oh, well, this last week of training has sucked, and so it just must not be for me. Like, I know people who I used to train with, like, in real life, that are literally exactly how I'm explaining, and they really did not get to see their full potential, and they're probably never going to see their full potential because they can't look past those in the moment struggles, right? Where they can't just look at it as a big picture. You need to see this as a big picture. Like, you are doing this, to be at this point in however many months, years, decades time. And so if you look at it like that, it's really going to help you to be able to not get stuck in those in the moment negative and depressive thoughts. I wish you guys all the best of luck with your journey that you are about to embark on. If you found this video useful, make sure to go down below and click that subscribe button so you never miss a new one. And I keep on bringing this content to you. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Always remember to go out and get her done.